Merry Christmas, YouTube. Alright, well, it's that time of year, and we're supposed to be, I guess, remembering Jesus, the birth of Jesus. The strange thing is, I see videos on some of these guys that I usually respect for, staying on topic. They report on what Jews are doing, what Jews are saying, and different aspects of the Jew world order. And I tend to agree with what they put out, because I don't see racism, I don't see 1488, I don't see Stormfront behind what they're doing. And that's a good thing, right? Because for a number of reasons, you cannot become the thing that you are opposed to, right? So if what you're opposed to is someone dividing up the races and spreading hate and division and subversion of values, then you cannot yourself get away with the same behavior, right? So like the white nationalists and everything, I mean, even somebody who I tend to agree with much of the time, like Ramsey Paul, is off on this idea like, oh, so look, the Jews can have a homeland, so I think I'm just like the Jews. I think the white people can have a homeland. That's, two wrongs don't make a right, you know what I mean? Part of my thing going after Colin Flaherty was, I live around black people. I don't have a problem living around black people. Now, do I think we need to live on top of each other? Do I think we need to be morally subverted and manipulated into behaviors, whatever, that are beyond what would normally occur? Of course not. I don't see anything wrong with blacks and whites intermixing, intermarrying, living around each other. Just that fact. But yeah, I do have a problem if women are manipulated into some Kim Kardashian world of, this is what you should be seeking for a mate. And that becomes some sort of a cultural push of intermixing based upon some media fraud. Okay? And I'll be going on too far of a tangent to try and explain what I mean exactly there, because it does have to pertain with women's psychology. But let's just stay on the day of Jesus, on the Christmas message, if I can, okay? So, what did Jesus do? Jesus told the Jews that if they loved him, if God was their father, they would love him, okay? This is John 8, and it's just one example. But he makes it clear that if you reject Jesus, then you have the devil for a father. There's other passages that talk about you can't have two masters. Okay, so you're serving one or the other. Okay, and so we have a problem right from the get-go. If you reject Jesus, and Jesus was saying the Jews are the problem. Okay, does that make Jesus anti-Semite? Did Jesus say every daggone one of you Jews is going to hell and burning because you've rejected me? He's talking about he's ascribing them in their behavior, in their spirit, in what drives them, the archetype that they have embraced. That's what he's talking about. He's not individually. So again, I'm not individually talking about anyone in particular when I say the word black or Jew or white or woman or whatever. It's a generalization so that we can communicate, because we all recognize and know that there are certain traits, qualities that occur within certain groups. That's okay to discuss. But it's a Jewish thing to divide that up into almost like we're a different species or something that has to be dealt with, or we're, it's one thing to say this group, that, whatever. But we're all human, okay? We're all been given access to God through Jesus and the new covenant, right? Jesus said, the way to the Father is through me. Jesus said, I am the way and the life. And he didn't say a whole lot other else about exactly what he was. So that'll be a topic for another video too. But for this video, let's just trust him on what he said, that he's the way and the life. And that through to the Father, you go through Jesus. And what does he mean by that? He means you walk in the steps of, you emulate, you practice his teachings, which are really common sense. All of it resonates harmoniously, perfectly with your conscience, and you know it does. And that's why we talk about him today, is because the message is so powerful. You can't deny the things that he said when he said, blessed is the peacemaker. And when he said, do unto others as you would have done to yourself. Okay? When he said and reiterated the Old Testament and expanded on the Old Testament laws of loving your neighbor and caring for others and not lusting or after money or sex or whatever, worldly things, right? So we know inside, internally, we all know that this resonates harmoniously with our own conscience. And it's only when someone, just cannot stand to accept the obvious that there's a conflict, okay? So it starts with the Jews, and they were expecting a Messiah that would come down just for them and would kick ass on all of their enemies and would pat them on the back and say what a good job and how proud, they were of him. They weren't expecting anyone that would come down and call them out on their usury and their oral tradition and denounce them as children of the devil. That's not what they wanted. That's not what they expected, and they weren't going to have it, so that their pride took over and they rejected Jesus, killed Jesus, and then went about trying to butcher out his memory, his existence, and that's what we're up to. That's the Jewish problem. That's the Jewish question. That's the age-old thing, right? It's recognized. This is 100-year-old stuff of information. Look how big. Okay? Henry Ford, right? Hired people to go and investigate, and the people he hired weren't anti-Semites, didn't hate Jews, but when they went and investigated, they found out, dang, you're right, this group of people has certain traits and certain behaviors, right? And again, it's okay to say Jews blank, right? It's okay to say women blank. It's okay to say Mexicans blank. It's okay to say blacks blank. When you do it in the context of a generality and not singling out anyone, and certainly not assuming that this means every damn one of this, group is forced into this stereotype. Okay? We're talking in generalities again, just so that we can communicate. Because there are these things that you notice. When they say, women are crappy drivers, everyone knows what that means. Everyone should know what that means. It doesn't mean you're a misogynist, that you're part of the patriarchy, and that you're full of toxic masculinity. Okay? That's not what it means. It means that statistically speaking, women get in more accidents. They're more distracted when they drive, etc., etc., etc. Doesn't mean every damn woman is a crappy driver. We all know this, right? It's not... if you can't talk this way, you can't communicate, there can be absolutely no humor anymore. Which, there's been a big attack on comedy, because how much can you laugh at? A black guy can get up and he can talk crap about cops, I guess. And a Jew can get up and he can talk crap about the goy and the shitskas or whatever. But other than that, it has to be politically correct, and you have to be in a politically corrected group in order for you to engage in any kind of humor that would denigrate a group. But anyway, I'm getting off on something else. What I'm trying to say is that it's okay to say that Jews this, that, the other. It doesn't mean we hate Jews. Again, Jesus was blessed is the peacemaker. It's a careful road to hoe. You cannot become the thing you hate. You cannot become just like that. You cannot separate the races and sit there like Colin Flaherty and hate blacks and then somehow pose as better, right? It's that whole idea of being chosen that is the problem. And so the tie-in with Masonry, and I'm going to bring this in, the tie-in with Masonry has a lot to do with that, where the Masons feel like, oh, I joined this club, I am now suddenly adept, and everyone else is profane, and I am the benevolent, beneficiary of running these idiot knuckle-dragging masses. Or it's the same with the Jews, and we're chosen. God chose us, we're going to run it. We're smarter, we're better, we're chosen. And the goy are animals, and we're here to herd them our way. So it's the same thing in that respect, and there's another tie-in with the Masons. But what I'm finding is disturbing on some of this Christmas message stuff is, as I watch some of these channels, I'm seeing stuff like Christmas isn't the real Christmas, and so you're worshiping Satan. Where does that come from? Okay? And then I see these black people, it's actually a black guy that did the video saying that Christmas is worshiping Satan. And he had no source material, and then he slides in the black baby Jesus and the black parents, Joseph and Mary. So this is so wrong in so many different respects. First of all, if you're honoring Jesus, it doesn't matter what day of the year it is, it's honoring Jesus. It has to do with what you feel and what your intentions are inside. That's the magic. That's where all the magic comes from. Any of it. The occult magic, whatever. All of it comes from your intention inside. Every bit of it. So if I intend to honor Jesus, I don't care what day of the year it is, it's honoring Jesus, period. And it doesn't matter what color. There should be no emphasis or debate or sliding in something, to suggest that Jesus was this or that or the other, because Jesus gave the covenant to all mankind. It had no difference of ethnicity. That's why the Jews rejected Jesus, was he was supposed to be just for them. So any kind of infighting or posing as the actual receivers or people of Jesus is retarded. We're all human. We can all procreate. We're the human race. Okay? Yes, there's black people that have certain aspects and traits. There's Chinese people that have aspects and traits. There's Jews that have aspects and traits. There's white people that have aspects and traits. But we're all one people that can have sex and, create babies, which means that we're not separate. And that when that was part of Jesus' message was, this is for everybody to enjoy. So I reject anyone who comes out and says things like kike, or, talks about anything nasty about any group, Colin Flaherty or anybody else that calls blacks orcs and uses dehumanizing terms like that. That is a Jewish language. That is a Jewish thing to do. And if you oppose what the Jews have done over the centuries to bring the goy down, what's the word I'm looking for? To subvert the goy, then you would not want to be like them, and you'd want to be like Jesus. Jesus is the Jew repellent. Jesus is the kryptonite to the Jew. Jesus is how you're going to win this game. It's a careful game. Don't fall into any hate, but be sure to let everyone know when they're screwing up.